Bass Sensei here, and this week we're going to talk about using distortion with bass, alright? We haven't talked about this. Along came Metallica, and they took, the metal world by storm. And this enigmatic figure named Cliff Burton comes out and basically becomes, what are you going to say, like the Jimi Hendrix of bass? First on the Rickenbackers, and then on the SB Elite series of basses, made by Aria Pro. Now this is an RSB Deluxe 2 Aria Pro. This was actually made in 1984, which was right around the time that Ride the Lightning came out. What Cliff did was he had one of those Morley, I think it was called a Super Fuzz Wah or something like that. My Boss ME-90 has a wah function on the pedal and a great distortion. But, that's kind of like, kind of like for a certain genre, right? But bass distortion has become very, very popular, especially in metal and stuff. It's more like, So how do we get that? How do we balance it? So the first thing that is very important is some amps do come with a distortion built in, and you might have a foot switch for it or something like that. But on a pedal board, most often, you have a blend between your clean signal and your distortion signal. And in order for your distortion signal not get lost in the mix, you really need a dry and a wet blend of your bass tone and the distortion together. And use a little less distortion than you think. You don't need to be like 80s full-on shred distortion, if you know what I mean. If you're in my metal settings, when I want it to be really grindy, I kind of go for like medium low to almost low action, and have a good bit of treble presence in there, and I hit a little harder, and that gets me a grind sound that punches through. You can really get a grindy pick distortion tone, kind of like, that Alice in Chains, I've always gotten it with my hands, just by hitting harder. But when you're using a distortion, there's plenty of types out there. Dark Glass having their amps. I like the pedal board. My ME-90 does everything that I want it to do. Pick out a distortion that pleases you, that allows you to have a wet and dry blend with your processed signal, and you'll get the best results. So that's my thoughts on, distortion, and, if you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Until then, I'm Bass Sensei, and you're dismissed.